What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for Violet Knight, the Christmas mutation, on Void Launch. So Brian, let's hear about the mutation.
Void Launch is the map where we have to shoot down Amon's shuttles. There are 7 waves of shuttles, which increase in size, number of prongs, and escorts.
True.
We cannot let more than 4 shuttles escape, otherwise we lose the game.
Yeah.
We have 2 mutators today. Gift exchange spawns gifts at specific intervals. The players or Amon can capture the gifts for rewards by standing a unit uncontested at the gifts for a few seconds. And Naughty List makes our units take more damage the more units they kill.
So today I have Tutu and Stixbender. How are you guys today? That's awesome.
Pretty good, yeah.
So it's actually a miracle that I managed to get them both on together at the same time, because whenever this is weird. Whenever Tutu's available, Stixbender is suddenly unavailable, and then whenever Stixbender is available, suddenly Tutu's unavailable. So it's actually a miracle that you guys are watching this video. Anyway, Tutu, how are we gonna do the rankings today?
Alright, so Merry Christmas. And this was a Christmas mutation after all.
Yeah.
So basically, the commanders that can that don't suffer from Naughty List, and the commanders that can deal with the Amon stealing gifts. Those are the 2 main criteria. So the gifts, you don't have to claim them, but most people are gonna claim them. And if you claim 2, Amon will steal the 3rd one. So commanders that can deal with the things that come from the stolen gifts will be able to get a higher score, higher ranking.
So if you guys watched my videos last week, you will notice that. So if you have an ally, I would actually recommend killing the escorts that would capture the gifts, and then not capturing the gifts until like the very last minute, and then capture them all at the same time to give you all the power-ups. And it'll actually become a little easier because Amon will not get basically any gifts. Anyway, let's start. Abathur, where do we put him?
So I did a few runs where I gave Amon all the gifts, and Abathur was able to survive pretty easily with P2. The Naughty List hurts his Brutalist, so you can get like 1 or 2 Brutalists early on, and then once they get like their Naughty List is too long, then they can go take a break, and the Swarm host can take over.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets an A.
Okay. How about you, Stixbender?
But basically, yeah, he's probably like A tier. He's just kind of a solid option here, especially since, Naughty List is the biggest problem, but Naughty List isn't too much of a problem early on because Toxic Deaths do a lot of your killing anyways.
Yeah, I actually had him in S, but both of you guys said A, so...
To be honest, the biggest downside of Abathur I see is actually, ironically, the fact that, like, so the positive gift buffs, there's no real good gift buffs for him that actually benefit him that much now, are there?
Are you kidding me? Avenger, 100 Brutalist, Archangel? Are you kidding me? That's the most awesome in the game.
That can happen.
I've had that happen twice.
It's low.
I've had that happen twice.
That's impressive. Okay then. Well then,
magic,
man.
My one regret is that both of those times when I had that happen, I was not recording. That would have been an awesome video. Like 100 biomass, Avenger, Archangel is the most awesome thing. It literally takes up the entire screen. That's incredible.
Yeah, that would be something spectacular. But for the most part, on average, many of the gifts are just going to be like, well, I'm sure glad I got Avenger on that Locust.
Actually, Naughty List, the gift with Naughty List clearing is pretty big for Abathur.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, regardless, yeah, A tier. He works.
All right. Alarak.
I want to add 2 things. One is that the escorts that come with the gifts give biomass, so you can get more biomass overall than usual. And second is that if your Roach or like Mutalist gets Avenger, don't evolve it to a Brutalist or Leviathan because it loses the Avenger buff.
I want to add a third thing. So if you and your ally are teaming up to not collect the gifts, you have to collect the biomass from the gifts because the biomass captures the gifts. Anyway.
Oh no.
Alarak, where do we put him?
Alarak. He's he's in an interesting spot. See, Alarak usually concentrates all his killing on a small handful of very valuable, important units. Also, he has a hero unit that if Alarak's hero unit gets a nice long naughty list, he'll just walk in and then a marine bullet will one-shot him. So he'll eat a supplicant with every marine bullet. So you can't use your hero or your army will melt. And when you're using Ascendants, you have to be careful because normally Ascendants are absurdly tanky, but now they're made of paper like High Templar usually are.
Yep.
So that's painful. And if you make Wrathwalkers, they're even more fragile.
Yeah.
So yeah, Naughty List just is really bad time for Alarak.
Where do I put
Other
him?
than that, he's okay, but I'd say B tier just because like he's, you know, it's definitely harder than Brutal, and that's not something that all the commanders can even say about this mutation.
Yeah, you can still get gifts, which Alarak, again, one of those commanders who would benefit from Naughty List is cleared gift. How about you,
Yeah.
Tutu?
I put all the like not so good. I guess my lowest ranking would be C, and for the reasons mentioned at first, Alarak belongs there just because he will take a lot of damage, and the longer his naughty list, the more he eats. So you're gonna lose like a big army with each fight unless you're like really careful. So yeah, C.
Okay, so Sticksbender and I say B. Tutu says C.
The only reason I said B is because I thought that we'd originally had the agreement that B was going to be our lowest ranking. Otherwise, yeah, like Alarak is just possibly the worst commander here. So he should just get the lowest tier that we put anyone in.
I agree. I don't have problems with C. In fact, this is the L tier, the Alarak. Alarak this week. Arcturus, where do we put him?
You just played pretty much normally, and then your bunkers have a lot of have a long naughty list. You can just salvage them and rebuild them, and then
bunkers
the
don't
naughty
get
list will
naughty
be
list.
gone. So he's pretty much solid, just normal, regular Manx play, and yeah, so he gets A.
Why not S? Actually, anyway, Sticksbender.
Firstly, bunkers don't get naughty list. It doesn't attribute the kill to the bunker. It just like it does, like the bunker. I'm pretty sure bunkers don't get naughty list. So literally, it's just bunkers ignore the mutator altogether. Pretty sure. So that's funny. And then the other thing is, yeah, honestly, like my experience doing this mutation with Manx, especially when I did it with P3 Manx, was just that literally all the good gift outcomes you can get are good, except Naughty List cleared, ironically, is kind of useless for Manx.
Yep. Inhumane. Inhumane.
S tier, like, you just A-move troopers, and if you're lucky enough to get, like, one of the money mutators, or, I mean, not mutators,
everything is
gift,
free.
Like, Mule Rain, Vespine Rain, everything is free. These
Everything
are all
is
gifts that
free.
exist, and all of them are things that you can take colossal advantage of.
Yep,
It's
spam,
wonderful.
queue up 5 Prides of August grad, then queue up a bunch of fusion cores, then cast some alt ones to get yourself basically infinite inhumanity.
Infinite money. And you could just throw troopers with like 6 command centers from then on with exploding troopers, and it just yeah, he's S tier. He's just S tier. Oh, and the best part is if a trooper gets high naughty list, oh no, anyways, it'll just blow itself up, so that's the problem solved itself.
So does this convince you, Tutu? Because I actually also have Arcturus in S.
Well, I based my rankings off of my newer runs where Amon gets all the gifts and see how he fares against them at each point of the game. But I guess like most people aren't gonna face that many hybrid at like 6-minute mark.
Why would you do that?
I'd like to do that now. That sounds fun.
Oh man, it's hard. I had 2 killbots once, 50-50, and I just quit.
Ooh.
It's like
Ooh.
I can't feed 100 units.
That's
Next
It depends on which commander you are, I suppose, how viable this all
as
is.
Minx.
it's like
So, like,
saying
Yeah, that's
it's like saying Abathur's F tier because you play P3 and only get Brutalisks. Why would you play like that?
oh, the horror, oh, the agony.
Anyway,
Anyway, so yes, S tier, nice feels.
I can see that. Like, I almost forgot what the goods, like the benefits, the good gifts are. I haven't gotten one in a while.
wow, Tutu's
I
been naughty.
forgot good things exist in this game. Woo.
Tutu's been
I
naughty.
just remember getting like a Herc or Scout or Queen, and it's just like
Ah, That's true. That could happen.
I've actually had runs where I had like 3 scouts. It was a miserable time. Anyway.
Indeed it is.
I can see it, I guess.
Oh wait, you weren't
He
convinced
can also
initially?
feed killbots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his killbot feeding potential is really good too, so even if you get it, that's probably the worst one, killbots, and he can still survive.
Yeah. So we're going S, right?
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Artie Farty, where do we put him?
Getting on top of gifts early on is actually pretty easy for him, which is good because like that's one of the biggest things that gifts, like one of the biggest ways that commanders can struggle with gifts is it's a ton of waves in the early game. Yeah, Artanis doesn't have too much trouble with that. He got his top bar to handle the early game mostly. Yeah, if you have infinite money Artanis, that's really good. And just generally the positive gifts, the summary of the positive gifts is for the most part money, and then a couple bad ones, but mostly money. So it's basically commanders who are money based are actually good for once, and Artanis is one of those. So A tier, honestly. Got a very strong top bar, and you got very good tools to actually expend your money usefully.
How about you, Tutu?
So he goes in my list of commanders who don't care about naughty lists because they have a lot of they just build army. So that's for me is B. They're fine.
B?
They do that. They do what they need to do, and yeah, nothing bad, nothing super good.
I also actually haven't. Spoiler alert, I have everyone in S except like Alarak. But so you say B. What did you say, Six Bender?
A.
A. So I'm actually leaning more toward A because like again, gifts are pretty good. And he's army based, he's economy based, and the gifts really help your economy. I guess the hardest thing you can get are like hybrids and killbots, which would be pretty terrible for Artanis. Other than that, I don't think he's that bad. I would actually put him in A, but yeah, it's really weird because you can either roll a really good gift or Amon can roll a really bad gift. So, yeah, killbots would be terrible, but if you roll something like, I don't know, Scourge, then Artie basically doesn't care.
You know, unless you went Mass Tempest for some reason, but if you went Mass Tempest, the only reason you should do that is because you got like everything is free, and now you can literally afford 500 supply of Tempests, which is just hilarious when it happens.
Well, if you have Tempest, you don't care about the Banelings.
Exactly.
Then they'll go to your base.
Yeah.
But just play P3.
If I recall correctly, the Banelings spawn if you don't have an air unit. If you have any air unit, they'll always spawn Scourge. So they will never spawn Banelings if you have Tempests.
That would also mean they'd never spawn Banelings if you have a Zerg player in the game, because it definitely counts Overlords. I can speak from experience.
Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, we can put him in like B for now, and then see later if he moves up. I was originally thinking S, but yeah, okay. We'll put him in B for now and see if he moves up. Dehaka, where do we put him?
Dehaka has a long naughty list, but his pack leaders don't. And if you use P2, you just kill. Like every time Dehaka dies because of his naughty list, you just summon a pack leader. And then yeah, Creeper host will take care of the shuttles and whatever bad things come.
Yep.
So I put him in S.
Yeah, I also have him in S. How about you, Stickspender?
You know, I'd kind of expected him to be A because of the whole naughty list problem, because especially like pack leaders also can get problems with naughty list because, well, then they, you know, just one-shot themselves.
Is it?
After like, you know, using their spells. But yeah, I guess. I guess. Okay. I mean, I don't think he's bad. I don't know. I would have thought more like B tier for Dehaka, maybe A tier, but yeah, okay.
Well, if it's not unanimous, it's not S. One thing I can see going against Dehaka, yeah, is indeed the naughty list. But as Tutu said, if you go the second prestige, it won't matter because you can just kind of switch around your pack leaders in Dehaka. Maybe even Zweihaca if you have P3. Okay.
So they just die faster.
They just die faster. All right. So with the second prestige, I definitely think you can definitely switch around uh the the pack leaders. And again, if you get gifts like Naughty List is cleared. If you can get everything is free. If you can get Vespine Rain, those are all good.
Reaper Hose.
But again, if it's not unanimous, it's not S. So we'll have to put Dehaka in, I guess, A for now.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Okay. Phoenix, where do we put him?
So your champions are going to get a nice long naughty list. So they're going to have Keldelis will actually have problems here because here's the funny thing. When a champion transfers to a new shell, the naughty list effect doesn't apply until it gets a new kill, and then suddenly it has the naughty list of all of its previous kills. So basically, Keldelis will take no bonus damage as he leaps in, swings his arm once, and then suddenly he's taking so much damage that he might as well have 5 max health.
How about P3 then?
So he's literally a Baneling. Well, P2 makes him a higher damage Baneling, P3 makes him a faster Baneling. P3 is probably better. And then either way, you're just gonna go eventually. You're eventually just gonna go carriers. Like Keldelis is just gonna cleave through the early game, and eventually it's just. And then I had carriers.
Yep. Especially if you get everything is free.
Naughty List doesn't make the interceptors take more damage, so it's like who cares?
Yeah. Okay, so you have him. Where do you put him?
Oh, sorry. Yes. A. Not quite S because there's a couple commanders who are like, no, that's S.
Okay. How about you, Tutu?
I think you guys are very generous with the gifts, the grading, because
it is Christmas after all.
Yes, but like there are some commanders that just they don't deal with the naughty gifts, the bad gifts really well. So I those commanders I don't give them like that's why not everyone gets A or S. For Phoenix is like a hybrid between the hero based and
army based
comps, and he's I put him in B. Just he's like I think he's more army based if you're not using P2. If you're using like P0, P1, or P3, you just have like some stronger units with a big army.
Yeah, you don't want to use P2 probably, because of just mostly the fact that your carriers do literally nothing with P2, and you kind of want to go for carriers eventually.
It sounds like Tutu, the reason why we're kind of giving him generous grades is because we actually get the gifts. We don't play with.
Well, no, but more importantly, I'm actually curious. Which negative gifts are you worried about with Phoenix?
No. It's just like
temporary retutors.
Depends on the timing as hybrids, well, and like
I don't.
I'm saying know. not for Phoenix, but I mean in general. Like
fair enough.
Putting Artanis in S is just like if you get like
I didn't
early.
Say S. I thought I said A on Artanis.
No, for you, A. But then I heard some. I think CTG gave S.
Yeah, I gave S to everyone, but I'm kind of I'm just kind of letting you give the grades.
Yeah, but then so I think like I don't want to depend too much on RNG, although the gifts are all like I think So I'm just putting it based on
has pretty solid ability to handle gifts for the most part. Like except maybe late game if something bad happens, but aside from kill bots, he can handle pretty much everything that can come his way early game. If he gets kill bot, he's very unlucky and very sad.
So his problem is naughty list really. But he has a big army, so he's army based, so he goes with the other army based commanders in B for me.
Do you agree with that, Stetmann?
The fact that the army-based commanders go in B is very weird to me because it's like, wait, the army-based commanders are better than the not army-based commanders in this situation.
Yeah, because naughty list.
It literally feels so backwards to me that we're putting the army-based commanders in the lower tier.
I think it's because the guys in A are free units, guys.
Yeah, free units are like AS, and then C is the hero-based commanders. So that's mine.
I mean, yeah. I guess I can see that.
Okay, I'm okay with putting him in B.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Anyway, let's put him in B.
I don't know. I feel like Fenix deserves promotion because, like, as an army-based commander, he's really good, and like his basis is going to be interceptors, which themselves are kind of free units.
Kind of,
But,
yeah.
meh.
Oh well. Hot and Horner, where do we put him?
Han Horner, army based B. Like call down. It's you play normally. Nothing special.
Yeah, the thing is,
Army.
which Amon gifts would give them a hard time?
All of them.
All of them?
Like,
Scourge.
practically.
Scourge? I don't know. The
Hybrid.
Galleons are pretty easy to remake. Hybrid?
But you don't want to lose them. Like
They're
all
kind of
5 of them.
expensive to lose. Losing all 5 of your galleons kind of costs a fair bit, especially if you make hoarder units at Scourge. Oh well, woe is you. Like hybrid. Like I guess you can. Yes, the Scourge will crash into Reapers for you, which is a little better, but you're still gonna lose a lot of Reapers to that. The hybrid are gonna be a pain. If Amon gets the Widow Mines and such hidden around the map, oh gosh.
Raven?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you have a Raven, but like that's still really bad. Right, like it's you aren't completely. Yeah, no, I think they have a really hard time. They are B. I'd almost put them in C, but like
No, there's no way. There's no way they're in
Alarak
C.
down in C. Yeah, we put Alarak down in C, so it's like, well, no.
I don't know.
So
The
probably B.
way the Reapers explode at enemies almost make them like Banelings, and you get gifts that give you free money, which will make your army even better. And the thing is that Hot and Horner's army is pretty easy to replace. They almost behave like Arcturus units, like the vampires that explode. I actually have them in S, surprise, surprise. But
Yeah,
do you guys both agree
they're
with B?
bad. I think they're quite bad. B makes sense to me, yeah.
Alright, fine, let's put him in B. Karax, where do we put him?
Oh, well, there's an S tier. The Spear of Adun can't get naughty list.
Yep. Without
That pretty much
prestige.
sums it up.
How about without
Oh,
prestige?
Use any prestige you want. Your cannons are amazing. Your carriers, we've already gone over this, and your top bar can just win the whole mission, technically.
Alright. How about you, Tutu?
I didn't want to put everyone in S. So, Karax is a tower-based commander, not army, not so it's not really army. It's not really tower either. You just Spear of Adun and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put him in A, just because I think the ones I put in S are just like resilient to like anything that the gifts throw at you.
Now
Whereas
I know.
Karax
Now I
kind
know
of
why you,
sucks in-
now I know you get bad gifts. It's because you gave everyone such a low grade. The ghost of Christmas Amon is punishing you for your stinginess.
Okay, well,
Alright, if it's not unanimous, it's not S.
Wait,
So
what gifts can't Karax deal with, actually? I'm curious. now.
Killbots.
killbots.
But he actually can better than a lot of commanders because you don't even really need money to win. You
think
just
it's
need your
like-
top bar, so you can just feed probes and
It's 50
barely
though.
be set back.
It's 50,
isn't it?
right?
I don't think it's 50 in the early. I think it also scales. It just scales a lot faster than normal killbots. So I think
It's-
if you get it early on, it's not a 50.
It's
Pretty
30
sure.
in the early game,
It's
and
30
after like
early,
10
yeah.
minutes, it's 50.
Yeah, that's honestly, I would see that as totally manageable. And if you are getting any gifts at all, again, half the beneficial gifts give money. So if killbots take away money, oh no.
If I were
Anyways,
Karax and I see a killbot, I would say, "Hey, ally, can you feed that?"
if I were a Karax and I see a killbot, I'd say, oh no. Anyways, I can literally win this mission with only top bar. So money isn't really a big loss. So I'll just feed probes and call it a day.
Alright. So, yeah, if it's not unanimous though, it's not S. I also have Karax in S, by the way. Just so you guys know.
Karax feels like a clear S to me, but yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a clear S, but yeah, if it's not unanimous, sorry, Karax. Maybe you'll be the top of A. Kerrigan, where do we put him?
Kerrigan, hero-based commander, C. So Kerrigan has the might be even it's like Alarak level of bad, which is like the hero unit takes care of the early game, but then the naughty list will grow, and then by the time you get an army, like Kerrigan will just keep dying in one shot.
Unless you just pop immobilization wave, then hide back in the worm, which is probably what I would do.
It's a call down, pretty much call down money generator.
Yeah, and also like after you have the units fighting the shuttles, I can just have Kerrigan like fighting the ships. The ships after I kill off the defenders and stuff. Anyway.
And then Amon gets shuttle overcharge as you're doing that, and she gets one shot.
Yeah, that happens. Oh, man.
yeah.
The shuttle overcharge is actually insane. They actually shoot really fast. Anyway,
yes.
How about you,
Like
Sixbender?
Alarak structure overcharge. Yeah, she's literally just as bad as Alarak. Her army can't do very much without her, and like it's okay, but it's not great. And Nautilus is gonna really, really ruin her day. Also, the early game's going to be overwhelming because the gifts mean there's extra waves to deal with, which means Kerrigan's kill list is going to get up very, very fast, and next thing you know, you're going to have Kerrigan having a huge naughty list before you have any units out. Then you die. So yeah, she's terrible. C tier.
Okay. Nova, where do we put him?
Nova. You know, it's kind of like a weird thing of she's an army-based commander. Except her army is hero units that kill themselves killed. Her biggest redeeming factors are Griffin Airstrike and Spider Mines. Even then, C tier.
Okay, how about you, Tutu?
Another hero-based commander with hero-ish units. More hero-like than Phoenix's champions. So C.
Yeah. The only thing I can see for Nova here is if you get everything is free really early on, you can spam command setters, cancel them all, then you'll have infinite airstrikes. And that'll be pretty awesome to play. But yeah, you guys both say C, so we'll put him in C. Raynor, where do we put him?
Raynor, army-based commander, so B.
Plus, it already has Mule, so like Mule Party's like, eh. Okay, how about you, Stixbender?
Mule Party ain't that means that you're funded to like get like 5 orbitals ahead of schedule, so you're going to just have infinite money for the entire game and mine out the entire map. And anyways, yeah, probably, you know, I'd actually almost consider A, except our tier list is so compact right now that I guess B. It's just he's like the top of B. Jimmy's actually a pretty good army commander for this situation, but yeah, just B.
Yeah, I would go the second prestige here.
Honestly,
just to
I
give the
almost
option.
feel like we should just stretch this tier list out a bit because it's like looking a little monotonous. It's like, well, I mean, you can't really stretch apart the army commanders. They're all in a similar boat, and like, there's just a similar boat for everyone here. It's each of the tiers is just a different category of commander, and that really just is accurate to the difficulty.
Yeah.
The type of commander you are single-handedly determines: are you going to suffer or are you going to steamroll?
I like how you're thinking about stretching out the tier list. Whereas I'm just here putting everyone in S. But let's put the Raynor in B. Okay, Stepboy, where do we have him?
So Gary's gonna die very, very fast. However, the funny thing is, despite literally being a hero commander, Stetmann works when not relying on his hero basically at all anyways. Because his army is very good and Stedelites are very good, and yeah, you're just gonna smash Lingbane Corruptor and be basically better Zagara.
Okay.
Be an army commander, but with a really good hero who can, act as a top bar.
Actually have
And then die one and get one shot. But
you remember?
he's a good top bar. So I
Okay.
would put him in B tier, honestly.
You remember when we talked about A guys are the free units, guys? I was actually thinking Infestors and Spore Crawlers. Infestor would take care of the waves, and the Spore Crawlers would take care of the shuttles and your mineral bank. So I'm actually thinking of S, but of course, with the way we've been doing them, I'll probably put them in A. Tutu, how about you?
So Gary doesn't actually die. That he won't die if you are careful. Like you can shoot the E-Gorb and pull back, and then send your Lynx forward. Even if he dies, your Lynx will stall for a while with the hardened shell, and you can stall until Gary comes back. You can make infestors if you want. You can make spore crawlers if you want. So he's really good. I didn't put him in S just because if you're not careful, he'll just die a lot. But yeah, so he's an A.
Okay, so are you convinced, Sticksbender? That boy an A?
Yeah, I can see him in A.
Alright, there it is. That boy an A. Alright, Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, 3 units, doesn't care about anything. So like P3, you just make bunkers and everything will die eventually. So S.
Okay. Sticksbender, how about you?
Everything will die eventually. S. It just makes sense if you do P3 Stukov. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would thought.
Plus, the gifts will actually make it so much easier for Stukov. Like, if you get everything as free, you can basically base that for the rest of the game. At the very beginning.
The worst it might be Scourge.
Yeah. Worst
if you don't have enough. Yeah.
If you don't have enough anti-air. But yeah, I don't think it matters whether he has prestige or not. He'll just make bunkers, regardless. So yeah, still S. How about Swann? Where do we put him?
Okay, Swann. You know, I'm kind of tempted to say Swann S for the same reasons as Karax. It's like your biggest unit that you fight with is a floating factory that doesn't get any of the kills. The safe laser drill gets all the kills. Honestly, I look at Swann the same way as Karax and basically just feel like he should be S, but okay, I guess we can put him in A if we're putting Karax in A. So A.
How about you, Tutu?
Same. Well, I put Swann next to Karax just because you can make turrets at home. Because I was worried about environmental mutators, because if you get a temporary going nuclear, all your structures are gonna die. But you can use wraiths. Cloaked wraiths don't get hit by overcharged shuttles, so that's good.
That's
if you don't have enough factories, the overcharged shuttles can actually kill your factories.
Wow,
You
that's
need
insane.
like a lot.
That's insane.
Factory
There are 3 of them.
That's why I've been advocating for just not capturing the gifts so that Amon won't get anything. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, I put him in A.
Alright, you guys both have an A. Of course I have an S. Anyway.
Here you're advocating for, not letting Amon have the gifts because of shuttle overcharge. Meanwhile, I just take this as more evidence for my advocating for just make 12 factories and float all of them in.
Both can be true.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Never enough factories. Anyways, continuing.
Tychus, where do we put him?
Tychus. All 5 of his units are heroes. So he's a C.
Yeah, he's also not S for me. How about you, Sticksbender?
Yeah, he's C. What's the problem? Yep.
I was actually thinking of putting him even lower because, he actually doesn't have any recourse of getting out of a situation. He cannot make an army.
Your closest approximation is, well, at least Sirius can sit back and spit turrets out and let the turrets do everything.
You can also use Vega.
At a safe distance. Well, Vega has to get close enough to an enemy to mind control, and the enemy might sneeze on her and she'd die.
Will Vega actually get kills on her own, though? Vega
actually won't get kills for herself, so actually Vega's probably pretty safe too. And ironically, those are the 2 people who can work together with Lone Wolf without ever actually standing near each other. So you can have turrets and units that have the Lone Wolf buff, and none of them have naughty list problems. Is it micro-intensive? Yes. But it does work.
And as I've
survival.
And as I've shown before, it is technically possible to win as Tychus using just turrets, so
Technically possible.
Technically possible. Anyway.
Naughty list turrets?
Nautilus turrets. There we go. We'll put Tychus in C. There we go. I was thinking of putting him lower, but yeah, having Vega and Cirrus is kind of your saving grace, so it won't be totally lower. Anyway, Vorazun, where do we put her?
Army commander. Do I need to explain it?
S?
No. B. I mean, unless you want another Shadow Fury rant.
You know what? We have 20 minutes to spare. Why not? Go for it.
Because
Why can't Shadow
who cares
Fury-
about Nautilus when you have Shadow Fury? You don't get hit in the first place.
S.
Oh, also, you could just teleport. Like, the gifts, I'm pretty sure. Do the gifts give vision for a bit? No, right?
With P3, your army can be the call down Dark Templar from the time stop.
Exactly, and they don't have to worry. And
S.
dark pylons just let you get around everywhere with your Shadow Fury, Dark Templar. You just never have to get hit with.
Exactly.
You need
And,
Corsairs.
and all the enemy
that's the only
waves.
thing. You have to figure out how to shoot up, and that does mean either Corsairs. Honestly,
Cannons?
I would use cannons.
Yeah, I would use
probably
cannons
mostly.
too.
But to be fair, I would probably be picking up gifts so I'd have money.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
I
B
mean,
is fine.
B is
S.
fine.
S though.
Ironically, anti-air is going to be a huge problem again. Like,
Anyway.
everyone else is caring about Nautilus and gifts, and Vorazun is still stuck on, but do I have to shoot up?
Cannons. Anyway.
Which I find hilarious, honestly.
How about you, Tutu?
Army-based commander, so yeah, B.
S. Alright. B. Alright.
She can't be S. It's Vorazun trying to shoot up. She
Zagara.
doesn't do that. Up does not compute for Vorazun.
Zagara, where do we put her?
Zagara P1 does not care about any
Anything.
of the Nautilus. I mean, does not care about Nautilus. Does not care about the bad gifts. S.
There we go.
Sure.
Finally, we agree.
Doesn't care about the bad gifts? What happens when Amon rolls Banelings or something?
You trade and then you have more Banelings.
You trade.
Okay, does Zagara seriously not like just run out of steam? Because like
You're thinking solo again. This is co-op.
No, I did not run out of steam. Even solo.
really?
Just like so
There's
much stuff.
so many waves with the it's like having aggressive, like, you have to realize it's like aggressive deployment but less aggressive. That is literally what
I still think
it's aggressive deployment, but it's a aggressive and
Well,
deployment.
if Tutu didn't run out of steam soloing, I don't think people were on steam with a co-op ally.
Yeah, no, all right then.
I think
Guess
S.
that then.
There we go. S. Zeratul, where do we put him?
Hero commander, except cannon's good, so B.
Cannon's good. I can even see like shield guards with reflective barrier, letting the thing shoot back at themselves. I wonder if reflective barrier reflects shuttle overcharge back to itself. That'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it?
Probably does. Yeah, most likely does.
Anyway, Tutu, how about you?
Zeratul's invisible, so if there are no detectors, he can kill the shuttles even if they have overcharge without, like, especially if they're Terran. But if they're not Terran, you can like somehow get something to snipe their Oracle or their Overseer, and then Zeratul can kill the shuttles. Cannons do a lot of damage. So Zeratul's basically like just searching for artifacts, getting free shots once every 5 seconds, and then staying away from the action while you mass cannons. And cannons are free, so free stuff.
Yeah, if you get everything, it's free.
Even higher than B tier, then maybe is what you're saying.
I put him at S.
Does that
can feed killbots.
Yeah.
Does that convince you?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Zeratul's in S tier.
Welcome back to Zeratul's in S tier, everyone. Why is he so broken?
He's good. He's really good.
He is really good.
Okay. Do we rearrange these guys? Do we rank them?
I don't think.
Who's
in
top of
P2.
S?
Zagara.
Stukov.
Zagara.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Zagara or
Hmm.
Stukov, I think. One of those.
Zagara, you have to actually, like, give commands to your banelings and Scourge and whatnot. Stukov, you place a psi emitter and then you go put on a pot of tea.
And make bunkers, but yeah. Zagara. Yeah, I guess, yeah. This looks right. Stukov and Zagara. Between Arcturus and Zeratul, who's better? I think Arcturus, right?
Zeratul?
Zeratul?
Arcturus? Probably Arcturus.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
Arcturus is better.
it's hard to really pick a better, but Arcturus is more entertaining because explosions.
Yeah, I think so too. How about you
By the
two?
rule of explosions, makes.
How about you two?
I will say Manx just because when I did my Zeratul run, I lost like 10 in a row to killbots. Just like every single one, a killbots. In the successful one, in the one where I succeeded, I also had killbots, but at least it was later on, not the first one.
This is why
Not
you
the
get.
first gift.
This is why you get gifts, guys.
Yeah, Manx can deal with killbots. I think I had 2 killbots with Manx, and I still fed all of them just fine.
Manx!
250s.
Good.
All right.
He's just great.
Who's the top of A?
Karax.
Karax.
All right. Not Stetboy? I was thinking Stetboy actually, but. So does
Next up,
Stetboy.
Swann, then Stetmann.
Swann because of the laser drill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did
Does
you
this-
know P1 laser drill slows shuttles?
Without prestige, does
A
Swann
lot.
go lower?
Yeah.
No.
Without P1,
Really?
I feel like
Oh.
Swann has a worse day, a considerably worse day. I mean, he's not terrible without P1, but like P1 is a big deal.
So does he go to like B or something?
I
No.
don't think so. No. He just goes
A
from
minus?
like he
Bottom
just
of
goes
A.
from just goes from A plus to A minus.
All
if you
right.
don't use P1. Yeah.
All right. So Swann second. Stetboy's gotta be third, right? Come on.
Yes, that is what I said. Is that boy
Yeah.
All right. Then Abathur and Dehaka. That's about right, actually.
Eh.
Yeah, Abathur has you can replace the Brutalisks, but Dehaka's heroes come back for free.
Yeah, and the Brutalist cost you biomass every time you play, and probably Dehaka better.
Yeah,
You
Dehaka.
don't want Brutalist later on.
Yeah, you literally don't want Brutalist, but you know what's going to happen? People are going to forget to turn off autocast, and they're going to be sad.
All right, Dehaka, and then Arcturus.
I would say Dehaka.
All right. So for B, who's top of B? It's gotta be Hot and Horner, right?
No.
Why not?
No.
Why? Why
they're
not?
They're the bottom of B.
They're army based, and they have exploding effects.
They're army based, but with a bad army.
I don't think it's that bad, especially if you get the 30% refund
Compare it
and the gifts.
Goons or Marines. Reapers. Okay, we're gonna get into another rant here if I have to compare Reapers and Marines.
Magmines, Hellions, Hellbutts. All right, so
your army is bad.
So who's top
Their army
of?
is bad. They're the bottom of B. The top of B, I would probably put it between Phoenix and Artanis. Probably, I would say Phoenix. I think
Phoenix top of B. How about you, Tutu?
Carrier Phoenix. Yeah.
All right.
Even if your suits die, you can just treat them like call downs.
All right. So who's next?
Then I would put Artanis. Space Archons carry your entire early game. Like, as long as you get anything other than a killbot in the first gifts, and like honestly, Amon shouldn't. Here's the thing: if you aren't doing no gifts, Artanis is gonna make it nice and easy to get the first 2 gifts because Space Archons.
Yeah.
So, and then if the third gift is killbots, that's a sad time. But that's like the only thing that can go wrong, and it's the third gift, so it's late enough that it's still survivable.
Yeah,
So,
kind of.
Space Archons, Solar Bombardment just works so well. Like Artanis is just good on this map because the timings of the waves line up real nice with his top bar.
How about
and
Raynor for third? How about Raynor for second of B?
I think that Artanis goes above Raynor, just because, well, you're looking at frequent access to space archons and a bit of solar bombardment sometimes, compared to a Hyperion, which is going to kill itself very rapidly because of the naughty list, and Banshees, which are like all 5 Banshees is about the power equivalent of 1 space archon. So
Isn't
yeah.
isn't Raynor's army better though? And they have
Yeah.
half the stack of naughty list because they're
Here's
Marines.
the deal. Yeah. See, here's the deal. Yes, Jimmy has a better army, but Artanis has like reality's better top bar than Jimmy. Like it's not close. For this situation, I'm pretty confident saying I would rather Artanis' top bar than Jimmy's top bar. The only time Jimmy's top bar even competes with Artanis' top bar, because of prohibitively long cooldowns on it, the only time it competes is P3, and you're not going P3 here because otherwise you're going to have a massive number of expensive air units who are going to get naughty list and kill themselves.
Okay, how about you, Tutu?
I think Artanis is better.
Okay, so
because it takes a while for Raynor to get a critical mass.
Yep.
All right.
That too, Artanis doesn't have to worry as much about scrambling critical mass because Warp Gate is Warp Gate's a heck of a drug. Dragoon.
Okay, so who's next on B?
Jimmy.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
Vorazun.
Vorazun?
Vorazun.
Army's more expensive though. It comes in later. I don't know.
See, you literally have Time Stop and Shadow Guard for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for Vorazun. Time Stop, Shadow Guard, as I mentioned earlier.
The only problem is early on the shuttles have this annoying habit of being up. That's like the biggest. That is literally the hardest part for Vorazun. Is like the first 2 shuttle waves. The fact that they're air units.
Yep.
It scares her.
So you need to have either Stalkers, because you can't get enough Corsairs in the early game. Or
Well,
you
can, but you'd have to hard rush them. I would probably just go Stalkers.
Yeah. Or cannons.
I prefer Stalkers over Corsairs in like 90% of situations with Vorazun.
If it's a ground comp, I would just go pure Dark Templar and cannons.
Yeah, I would probably get just enough Stalkers that I can confidently say that the shuttles will go down if I send my Stalkers to kill them, and then the rest are Templar. So that would be like 12 Stalkers, 14 Stalkers, honestly. Later on, I might add a few more just in case there's actually things defending that are causing problems, and I can't just black hole my problems away.
All right. So who's the top of C?
Nova.
Yeah, because airstrike. Do you agree to two?
Nova, Tychus, Kerrigan, Alarak.
Alarak's the
I
worst.
can agree with that. Alarak just is a bad time. Well, if you don't bring Alarak hero unit, if you just put him in a cage, I'd prefer Alarak over Kerrigan probably.
Yeah, if you have P1 Alarak maybe.
No. I would use Ascendants, not Wrathwalkers. No,
Really?
yeah, I would use Ascendants. Wrathwalkers are just asking to get smashed by Scourge. 1.
That's
2,
true.
2. Ascendants have more effective range than Wrathwalkers, and just you want to be like as distant as humanly possible. Also, even with Naughty List messing you up, 1,000 shields is enough that you actually need a lot of Naughty List sacks before you are able to go down quick.
Is Kerrigan not as good as Tychus here?
Her units suck.
Her units suck, yeah. Literally, her units suck.
Well, they don't literally suck, because... No, they don't literally suck. But they do suck, but not literally.
Yes. But that literally is the problem. They don't literally suck, but the literal problem is that they suck.
I'll pretend that I understand that.
It makes perfect sense, I assure you.
So Tychus has has Vega and Sirius, and Kerrigan has, I don't know. Wouldn't Hydros at least be serviceable here? If you use immobilization wave,
Hydralisks are serviceable.
if you use immobilization wave to stun waves, and then just use Hydralisks to fight, I could see that.
I'd still prefer Alarak. Hey, I mean, structure overcharge doesn't give kills to the structure, so it doesn't give Nihilus there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right.
They're both similarly bad. I'd prefer Alarak, but that's also because I'm a lot better with Alarak than Kerrigan in the first place. So I guess we can put Alarak at the bottom.
I think this tier list looks good. Yeah, Stukov, top of S. Then no one gets lower than C. I actually have everyone in S except Alarak, who's in Alarak and like Tychus who are in B. But anyway. So yeah, that's gonna be the tier list. Guys, go watch 2 and 6 Better channels. There will be a link down below. And hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for it also, please leave that in a comment. Next week will be more interesting because yeah, it's Donny Vermillion. I'll see you guys next time.